Hey, what's going on, guys? Nathan Olson here from YourCharisma.com, helping you create your brand your way. On this channel, we do a lot of social media marketing help as well as Instagram tips. So if you have not already subscribed, please subscribe. Today, we're going to be talking about how to use TikTok influencers to promote and grow your brand on the platform as well as outside of the platform. Stay tuned if you'd like to learn on how to grow your business as well as develop a stronger community on the TikTok platform. Stay tuned. So when it comes to utilizing TikTok, the audience pool that you're normally marketing to is going to be a little bit younger than what you're normally used to. So this is great for brands and other companies that are looking to kind of market themselves in front of the Gen Z users. This is typically the most notoriously difficult and most frustrating to get in front of, typically because this younger generation usually sticks around in different social platforms and their attention span is not to the same degree as a lot of other people that have been more matured and brought up outside of the social platform. Gen Z users have had so much time in social media that it becomes very native for them, and to see specific advertisements as well as certain influencers, they kind of are put on with blinders where they don't necessarily see all the ads and they don't necessarily pay attention to all the influencers because they've been so conditioned and they've just been brought up in this realm. So it's extremely native for them and they're looking for something very specific. And when we talk about utilizing influencers on the TikTok platform, we really want to showcase our brand to this younger population, the Gen Z, but we want to do it through the lens of the influencer. And the reason that we choose influencers on TikTok is specifically because with a lot of branded accounts, it's very tough to create a commercialized or a piece of ad content that doesn't come off too salesy. So in order to create an organic and authentic type of ad creative or even type of call to action, it's typically best to kind of look to influencers to help with that process. So when we're searching for TikTok influencers on the actual platform, you want to search for someone that is specific to your niche and or your target audience niche. You don't want to utilize TikTok influencers that are outside of your niche. You would be marketing to kind of a non-targeted audience that wouldn't have the best reception. So utilize the customer structure and kind of the customer character that you've pre-built for other social platforms and simply apply it to this platform. Look for influencers that match your customer base and go through their videos and kind of see the type of content as well as the type of expressions and comments that they are giving back to their audience. Because it's great that an individual is able to accrue all these comments and likes, but it's even better if they start to connect with their followers and actually start to communicate back with them through comments, messages, and even duets on the TikTok platform. When it comes time to contact these influencers, TikTok is a little bit tricky in the sense that you can't directly message everyone on the platform. You have to be friends before you can open up that dialogue or even that DM conversation area. So if you're looking to start networking with influencers on the platform, it's important that you kind of push your conversation status in or push your reach out status to a different platform. You know, a lot of TikTok influencers utilize the setting where they can input their YouTube, Instagram, Snapchat, etc. TikTok makes it really easy to cross-communicate across all those profiles and all those social platforms. So it's typically really easy to find another medium in order to contact your influencer. You want to look for the potential platform where it's going to be easiest to get in contact with these influencers so you can get this influencer marketing campaign up and running as fast as possible. So start looking to those other platforms in order to reach out to those influencers. As we've talked about before, Gen Z users are very tough to get your ad in front of. And that's because a lot of old marketing strategies and types of traditional marketing strategies are very sales specific. But the Gen Z users, as well as a lot of the other age groups and demographics, they've started to switch to an advertainment style of advertising as well as entertainment. You know, as brands and as corporations, influencers, whatever you want to do, you want to capture the reach and engagement of your specific target audience. But the best way to do that is by telling a story, creating content that is actually giving some sort of value, and thirdly, just being comedic and or funny. Typically, comedy almost always trumps every other type of niche And it's really the best way to leave your audience with a positive mindset, as well as kind of introduce yourself in a positive way. So typically with brands, especially in insurance, they used to use fear mongering as well as kind of sad and depressing negative emotions in order to sell their customers a specific plan or an insurance coverage. And as an individual, you're gonna feel cheated as well as negative, or you're gonna relate to those emotions that are in that story. And those emotions are going to be tied with the brand. They say first impressions mean everything, and this is extremely, extremely true. So the first impression that your brand makes is a negative story is going to relate to a negative behavior that your customers are going to elicit towards your brand. So when we talk about creating content, it's all about creating positive content because we want our users not only to engage and to like the content that they're watching, but we also want them to attribute positive values and positive behaviors to our brand. So in order to do that, one of the best ways to do it is through a comedic type of skit and or a comedic type of advertisement. We've seen it a lot with, insurance companies like Nationwide, Allstate, all of those major insurance companies that have been used to fear mongering are now creating funny short skits that leave the user laughing. And a lot of individuals, even myself, recall these commercials a little bit more just because they're funny and you want to share that short, simple story with someone to provide that value. Shareability is a lot larger for positive and funny than it is for negative and other depressing emotions. People want to share something that will make another person laugh or feel good, so it has a higher shareability. Therefore, finding influencers to create content for you and to create positive, funny content is kind of the ultimate goal of your influencer marketing strategy. You should be looking for influencers that match your target audience, are creating content on a consistent basis, and then you kind of just want to give them an outline of what you're looking for specifically. You don't want to constrain them to a specific type of content production. These influencers are native to the platform and they've done a lot of work to get to the place where they are. So coming in and telling them how to essentially do their job is going to do yourself as well as your advertising campaign a disservice. The influencers on TikTok have spent a ton of time accruing and kind of learning the nativeness of the platform and the adaptability of it. So being able to tap into their knowledge base and to tap into their experience is gonna give your content as well as your challenge or your influencer marketing campaign the most amount of reach and engagement possible, because you're really utilizing as much of the experience features and user-generated content on the platform as possible, as compared to maybe within Instagram or a Facebook type of advertisement with influencers. You're creating the structured content and you're sending them over things to post on their feed or things to post on their story. However, in order to connect with the audience that the influencer has already accrued, you want to share your content, your brand, your business through the lens of that influencer. So it's important that you let the influencers have as much creative control as possible while also kind of just delivering the type of values that you're specifically looking for in this type of campaign. One thing that's really nice about TikTok and TikTok influencers is the fact that the social platform is still in its infancy, meaning that organic reach and the ability to go viral is extremely high on this platform, making it very, very lucrative for brands and other businesses trying to generate some sort of awareness among the Gen Z population. Not only that, with a low amount of kind of user base in comparison to the other, high level apps like Facebook, Snapchat, and Instagram, TikTok influencers typically charge a lot less, almost 50% less than some of the Instagram and other social influencers that are on the same following base. And typically, TikTok influencers are also of a younger population, so it's a lot easier to start those brand partnerships and kind of low payout partnerships to where you can give the influencer free goodies and free merchandise because this is probably one of their first brand collaborations in order to get some of that user-generated content or even to get in front of their audience. So it's a little bit cheaper. They're more interested in brand partnerships because they're looking long-term. And it's a lot easier to go viral on that platform. So having an influencer that already has a high number or a high amount of following, and then to create a funny skit, the ability for it to just go viral and for your brand to be everywhere on the platform is extremely high. And that's why a lot of brands are starting to look to TikTok influencers in order to create this advertainment, because they want to entertain the younger population in order to subtly push their brand into the awareness section of their mind. We want to establish top of mind awareness, but in a finesse way. We don't want to brute force our brand down the throats of all of our target audience. We want our target audience to maybe approach us, look at us, and kind of wish to be with us and want that, because we created a strong relationship and a strong community. So our target audience feels almost that they need to be in our realm and in our community. So that's the type of community that we're looking to establish. And the best way to do that is by utilizing these influencers, guys. And I really strongly suggest that you just create a list of influencers that match your target audience from the TikTok platform, and to just go through and at least find out the rates that they're charging. You don't even have to follow through. Just get an understanding of what these people are charging and compare it to maybe the other influencer marketing campaigns that you've done on Instagram and Facebook, and see the amount that you've spent there, and just kind of do an ROI analysis. I think TikTok is going to be extremely lucrative for a lot of brands and businesses coming into 2019 and 2020. We will see how the advertising and marketing avenues of TikTok expand as we go through those years. It's going to be interesting, because the one thing about social platforms is, prior to kind of absolutely blowing up, is it's really organic, it's really authentic, and there's not a lot of ads on there. But as soon as the big companies start to push a lot of advertising dollars into that platform, you're going to start seeing restricted of certain features, more advertisements, more brand and business accounts, and it's going to turn into the way Instagram and Facebook are now. So I want you guys to take advantage of the viralness and of the massive amount of organic reach on the platform through TikTok influencers, in order to both establish your community on the platform and to drive traffic and create a brand awareness off of the platform. So guys, that's going to wrap up this video. I hope you thoroughly enjoyed, and make sure to stay tuned to the next one.